My name's Tony, and I'm a student filmmaker from Bolton. That's me on the right. I don't know who the others are. I like that photo, but to be honest, this is probably more like me. Anyway, this is the sort of thing that I usually make.
B to the O, B to the L, to the T, to the O, M. Let's do it.
Now, to get myself about in this busy, industrious town, I use a car, and it seems to me to be getting harder just to go about my normal business. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not an idiot that thinks you can just park anywhere, but with the new parking eye on nearly every supermarket and the ever-vigilant foot soldier, the traffic warden, seemingly popping out of everything from an empty packet of crisp just in time to give you a ticket, well, I for one think things are going too far. And now, after receiving another what I'd class as unfair parking ticket, I've decided I'm not just going to roll over with this one, I'm going to do something about it. The tale of my ticket and any other parking nonsense I can remember or be bothered with. Right, so here we have our parking ticket, which reads: the contravention, parked in a loading place during restricted hours without loading. Right, so this is my story. I parked here. No idea what the time restriction is. Now that, on the road and the corner, are supposed to be loading only lines. Barely visible, agree? Compare them to the ones in town. Alright, calm down, I won't park here. Fair enough, from across the street, they are more visible. But I wasn't parking 7 foot in the air across the street. But wait for it. Ta-da! What's that supposed to be? What is it, about the size of a packet of fags? So what we've got to do is email parkingservices@bolton.gov.uk and we can plead our case there. And we'll use the pictures of the tarnished sort of writing that's on the road as evidence to plead our case and see how we get on from there. Right, so I sent my nice and polite email appeal, attached a couple of pictures, but then I thought, what if they asked me to recreate the events? I'd better do that. At precisely 2:25, I parked my vehicle, unknowing it was a loading bay.
Oh, look at the size of that van. That's massive. What's that tree doing there?
Then I went to pay for my ticket. Boom! There he is.
Like a fluorescent ninja.
I paid for my ticket and then went back to my vehicle. It took me a short while to gather and arrange the items that I was dropping off, making the time 2:40 p.m. Then I went to drop off the items. Boom! There he is again. On my return, at 2:57 p.m, I noticed a ticket had been placed on my car by an evil overlord. So, fresh day, new things happening again. Basically, they've sent me an email back saying that no, they're not accepting that the lines were that badly marked and that they are issuing me a penalty notice. I can appeal, or I could play within 14 days and get it for £35, bargain. So I am going to appeal, obviously, because I don't agree. I think the markings are badly marked and that little sign's just ridiculous. So we'll see how it goes from here again. Is there any law of amount of visible, like, or amount of percentage that the road markings are supposed to be visible?
I don't know about that. I don't know what. I mean, it's got to be that the motorists can look at the restriction and know that there is a restriction in operation.
They clearly weren't on my case.
I mean, we've got, as I say, we've got the markings on the road, we've got the bay marked out and coming in with the time plates.
With the use of our state-of-the-art graphics, and according to figures taken from the Bolton News, the revenue generated in illegal parking in 2012-13 was £1.3 million. 2013-14 was £813,000. An estimated revenue for 2014-15 is in the alleged trillions. Right, so I've got some new information regarding the traffic wardens themselves. I looked into the job role and the job description, and they work for a company called NSL. Right, so have a look at the job description here. Circa. Right, and also this. So that to me looks like a bonus scheme, and to be honest, I don't think that's right. So they're pretty adamant that the loading bay is marked clearly enough. I disagree. However, I've changed my appeal and stated I was loading, which I was, but only by coincidence. So they've replied asking me to get a letter from the business stating I was loading and send them that. So that's what I've got to do now.
Hello. Hi, Tom.
Hey, Si. Listen, remember the other week when I came here loading and unloading some stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, can I get a logo-edited letter from you, just saying that's what we're doing?
Of course you can, yeah. Shall I email it to you?
Yeah, nice one, that'd be really good.
All right, pal.
Cheers, see
See you in a bit. Bye, bye.
See ya. So while I'm waiting for the email, or a reply to my email with the letter saying I was loading and unloading, I thought that me and my glorious assistant
Don't be afraid. Don't be alarmed. I am your friendly parking assistant.
we're going to do some good.
I am your friendly parking assistant. Quick, madam, get in your car and drive away. I am your friendly parking assistant. You might want to move forward by about 6 inches. There you go, sir. Well done. Please do not park here. This is obviously a loading bay, as is clearly written on the road. Excuse me, Mr. Plastic Bag, you cannot park there. This is loading only, and you are not loading. Yes, a little bit. Just a little bit.
So Paul seemed to be enjoying himself, so I thought I'd just leave him to it.
Very interesting.
Anyway, it's been a day since I got the letter from Simon. I sent it into parking services via email, and the day later they got back to me, dropping the charges completely because I was loading and unloading. The thing was that I wanted to get across the point that the road markings themselves, have to have a law to say how much visibility they've got to be. So is it like 50%? Is it 60%? 5%? How visible have they got to be? But I couldn't seem to find that out. So I'm going to move on, take the victory, and dance.